What's going on, everyone? So the Lakers are obviously trying to upgrade this roster, more likely than not via trade this offseason. Now, they may be able to get a couple pieces via free agency, maybe get like a Valanciunas, take a flyer on like a Kevin Porter Jr., right? But this free agency class is very limited and not very good. And the guys that are kind of at the top, you imagine, are probably going to either stay where they're at or they're going to be out of our price range because the Lakers are incredibly limited as far as the assets they can go. And you hear a lot of like the reports and the rumors right now are the big star, right? The Donovan Mitchell, the Trae Young, right? Like these guys, the Lakers want to acquire because not only would they kind of raise the ceiling for the Lakers now, but also for the future around LeBron James and or post LeBron James around Anthony Davis. The Lakers are trying to make that pivot and that change to kind of build more around Anthony Davis as opposed to LeBron James. Luckily, the beauty of it is a lot of the stuff that you want for Anthony Davis, you want for LeBron, right? 3-and-D perimeter, athleticism, defense, right? Shooting, some playmaking, like all the things that you want alongside Anthony Davis, you also want alongside LeBron. So you can kind of get the best of both worlds, but the Lakers really do want that other star. It's kind of why there's that argument for going and getting that third star now, right? Because again, you kind of raise your ceiling, and if it works, and you probably win a chip. But even if it doesn't, right, it's like you're probably not winning regardless. So it's like, okay, at least we have like the building blocks for the foreseeable future that when LeBron does ride off into the sunset, right? Again, maybe the dominoes kind of fall your way one year while you have LeBron, you win a chip. If not, well, then now you at least have, a Donovan Mitchell and an Anthony Davis or a Trae Young and an Anthony Davis, right? It's a very different circumstance. But obviously the Lakers want to try to win now. That's the idea. Now, I am a fan of, I would love to get Donovan Mitchell. Don't get me wrong. My number one option would be go get Donovan Mitchell. Because Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis should be a trio that works. And Donovan Mitchell isn't making so much money right now that you're basically you're stuck, you can't do anything else. We could basically keep everybody except just trade Rui and Reeves. You basically be turning Rui and Reeves into Donovan Mitchell. And then you'd still have all the same stuff that you have available to you right now. And now you got that piece for now and the future. Trae Young, I'm a little, if it happens, cool, I'll be happy. We'll talk about it. I'm going to support a player that's on the Lakers always. But I do have my concerns with that. Now, long term, you can make an argument Trae maybe even makes a little more sense than Donovan Mitchell long term because Trae is 25, right? And him and Anthony Davis may be a real dynamic pairing, especially with Trae Young's playmaking ability and the way he is at finding the big man, right? So there is that if we didn't have LeBron, I'd probably campaigning more for Trae. But with LeBron, it's kind of it's kind of tough. But again, I kind of do like the idea beyond going and getting the star of going and getting these complementary players, right? Go get, instead of that superstar, instead of going and getting that Trae Young, go get two complementary guys. And I've thrown out the idea of in just videos kind of as a throwaway in passing of what about a Dejounte Murray and then you go and trade for a Jarrett Allen or something like that, right? So make the first trade for Dejounte Murray and then maybe make a move for a Jarrett Allen, something along those lines, right? And now I'm seeing a lot of comments, and again, it's not an original thought. I'm sure there's other people that have said it, but I'm just saying it in passing. And I've seen a lot of people now starting to really throw out the idea of hey, what if we do get a Dejounte Murray and a Jarrett Allen? So I wanted to kind of expand on that more and kind of, because I do agree with the consensus. A lot of people, again, are throwing out this idea, and I'm yeah, this is a great idea of instead of getting that star, and it's not so much just about specifically Jarrett Allen and Dejounte Murray, it's more so of just getting those two complementary guys, right? It could be a Dejounte Murray and a Lauri Markkanen, right? Or maybe a Darius Garland and a Lauri Markkanen, right? Whatever. You can kind of interchange it. But just for this video's sake, I want to kind of stick with the idea of a Dejounte Murray and a Jarrett Allen and kind of how it would help and impact us now, but also for the foreseeable future. Now, right off the bat would be the finances, right? Now, Jarrett Allen, he's making about $20 million a year, so he's not out of reach, right? I mean, you could even do like Rui and Jalen Hood-Schifino, and boom, there's the money for him, right? And then luckily Dejounte Murray, he's not making 40 plus million. So with Jarrett Allen and Dejounte Murray combined, you're looking at about 45 to 47 million, give or take. So you're looking at about, let's just meet in the middle, 46 million. That is actually very obtainable for the Lakers. I mean, that's essentially what it would cost to trade for Trae Young. Trae Young's making like 45 million. So basically, the amount that you would have to use to go get Trae, you could use to go get Dejounte Murray and Jarrett Allen. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, the biggest thing is cost for both guys. Because, like, Lakers, yes, they do have assets to go make the trade. And the financials of it are fine. Right? Lakers can make that work. Even if D'Lo were to walk, Lakers could still make that work. But there is the question of like, okay, how much would Jarrett Allen cost asset-wise, and how much would Dejounte Murray cost asset-wise? Now, again, and then you have to kind of configure, okay, well, who wants who and who wants what, and how do they want to approach this? Now, luckily, with the players that we have, there is kind of like a layout that I think could kind of make sense. So like the Atlanta Hawks, they want who? They want Austin Reeves. So you could do something with like an Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent, that would get you to like 23 million, and then you throw in, like I said, maybe throw in like a Maxwell Lewis or something like that. Throw in whatever. Throw in some salary. Christian Woods opted in, maybe you throw him in, whatever, right? You can get to the Dejounte Murray money. So you do something like that. They want Austin Reeves. So you do like Austin Reeves, a first, and maybe like a second or 2 seconds, something like that, right? Because again, Dejounte Murray, yes, he's a valuable player, but you're not trading 3 or 4 firsts to go get Dejounte Murray. You're just not, right? Or you shouldn't have to, right? So you go do that. And then a team like the Cavs, they may be interested in like a Rui Hachimura because the thing is that they get rid of Jarrett Allen, which one, they're supposed to explore trades and potentially trade him. And there was even reports that say, no, they are going to trade him this offseason. So we'll see how that plays out. But they're either going to do 2 things, or one of 2 things, right? Either A, they're going to go and try to find another center to replace him. Maybe they sign a Valanciunas or something like that. Or B, they move Evan Mobley to the 5, right? Well, if they do that, Rui makes a ton of sense at the 4. So they could go with like, a Rui, Evan Mobley as like their 4-5 combo. So that is something that they might be interested in. So potentially getting there. And then, like I said, you could do a Rui Hachimura and then a Jalen Hood-Schifino plus, let's say, a first and, 2 seconds also, right? Now you ended up with both guys. So let's say, for argument's sake, the Lakers were able to flesh out and get both guys. Like, what would that roster look like? Well, now let's say you trade Reeves, Gabe Vincent, and Maxwell Lewis, whatever, to go get Dejounte, and then you do Jalen Hood-Schifino, Rui Hachimura to go get Jarrett Allen. And let's say you end up losing D'Lo in free agency. Okay, so now you'd have your full mid-level exception, so you could go get another guy. Well, now you got that other center, right? So now you don't need like a Valanciunas or anything like that. So maybe you could go take a flyer and go get somebody else. Could you land like a KCP, right? Could you convince KCP maybe to come? Or, Malik Monk, like, what does he look like? Like, hey, be our scorer and threat off the bench. But, again, you'd have essentially all the same tools at your disposal that you have right now. So you can kind of position. But now you kind of take care of your point guard position, and you took care of your center position, right? So now, bare minimum, you're probably looking at something like, again, obviously maybe you get somebody in free agency, but let's assume just with what we have right now, because you don't know what else may come. But let's say what we have right now, you'd be looking at like Dejounte Murray, probably Max Christie, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Jarrett Allen. Pretty good starting 5. To me, it would kind of boil down to like, what does Max Christie look like? Like, what kind of strides does he make as a legit 3-and-D 2 in this league? But I'm really high on him for 1, 2. Some of our best rotations were with him in it. And his ability to create for himself, he can kind of create a little bit for others, but also actually be a defensive guy. Again, I would prefer kind of a more veteran guy, but also, like, if the Lakers still have assets, maybe they could go and make that move for somebody else. The problem is now you're kind of limited because, like, perfect world would be you do the trades that I talked about, Rui plus Hood go to Cavs, Reeves plus whatever goes to, Reeves, Vincent, and whatever goes to Atlanta for Dejounte. Boom, right? And then best case would be D'Lo opts in. Or Atlanta might even want D'Lo at that point because, so they didn't want D'Lo this past offseason because they wanted to keep Trae. And they didn't like the idea of Trae and D'Lo together. And they also didn't want D'Lo to opt in. So they didn't want to take the chance of him opting in. And two, they didn't like the pairing long tall. But there are reports now that Atlanta actually wants to clear some salary. And they kind of want to take the next year as like the retooling process, kind of clear some money off their books. So maybe you could work something out to where, maybe you're signing, the Lakers are interested in signing D'Lo to kind of this inflated 1-year deal. So maybe you sign D'Lo for like $25 million. Maybe you go get another piece. Maybe you go get that 2 guard. Maybe you go get like a Hunter or something also in the process. So then you go like Dejounte, Hunter, LeBron. So again, there's possibilities there. But bare minimum, you'd be looking at, again, Dejounte, Max Christie, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Jarrett Allen. My concern, though, would be LeBron at the 3, right? You could go big if you wanted to, and kind of go with but my concern would be shooting or lack thereof. Even with that lineup, I still have concerns about shooting, right? But you could go with even big and go with like a Jared Vanderbilt, right? And kind of just go like Dejounte, Vando, LeBron, Allen, and Davis and kind of go positionless. But again, I have my concerns about the shooting in that regard. But my concern is like LeBron at the 3. Because he already has defensive struggles at the 4. He's not going to be able to do that at the 3. So you either need to get like I said, like a KCP would be ideal, or like an Alex Caruso or something like that, to where he can he can be the guy that defends the best player on the other team. Hopefully Dejounte Murray can kind of get back to being that, all defensive type guy, right? So now you have him as a point of attack out on the perimeter, and then if you get a KCP or an Alex Caruso, right, now LeBron is kind of just taking the 3rd or 4th best player. Anthony Davis can do so much. Jarrett Allen can do so much. So I like the idea. I do. If the Lakers could pull, like, if you told me, hey, the Lakers got Dejounte Murray and Jarrett Allen, I'd be like, okay, good luck to the rest of the league, right? You figure out the rest. Like, question is more long term, right? Like, what does you remove LeBron? What does Allen, Davis, and Dejounte Murray look like post LeBron? Like, I don't think that's enough to win a championship because, LeBron would be the difference maker. But I think that you wouldn't be that far off. So if LeBron leaves, can you go get that other star? Right? And not just that, I think you'd be appealing to another star. Right? I'll just use Anthony Edwards as an example because I love me some Anthony Edwards. Again, just an example, just a name. Don't freak out, okay? But let's say LeBron's here for another 3 years. 3 years from now, Anthony Edwards is like, get me out of here. I want to go somewhere else, right? Well, as he's looking at the landscape, if you have a Dejounte Murray, Anthony Davis, and Jarrett Allen, and maybe even a Jared Vanderbilt, let's say, he could be like, man, I could just slot right into the 2. And you got Dejounte Murray, you got me, Jared Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, and Jarrett Allen. Like, we win in 5 chips, right? Like, it's the idea of, like, if you build it, they will come. So, but anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you like the idea of going after Dejounte Murray and Jarrett Allen? Is that something that you're like, yeah, like, let's make that happen? Do you think, no, like, go get Jarrett Allen or go get Dejounte Murray, but not both, just get one? Do you have one that you like more in particular? How do you want the Lakers to kind of shape up this roster? Do you want them to go the star route, like a Trae or a Donovan or something like that? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, If you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.